Hello everyone, and welcome back to another one with me, Miss Whitney B. So today I'm bringing you a video for my self-mastery series, and I have a really interesting topic. This is something that I have been going through for a little while now at this point, and I've been working with my clients and then also my friends on healing the wounds, the inner wounds, working with your inner child to create alignment, love, wholeness, and flow. I was just literally doing some of this work, and I was talking with a family member of mine about some of the family karmic lines and the karmic ties and cycles that have to be loved and accepted and upgraded, and transmuted. That's what I'm meaning when I'm saying loved, because we have to transmute it with love, compassion, and understanding, and then make the change by being the change, by first of all learning and growing so that we can be aware of what that is, and then taking inspired action so that we don't do those actions anymore, and so that we heal that cycle. And I was really struggling because I was just like, I've been telling Spirit, right? Like, why am I sad? Why do I keep going through these bouts of depression where I'll have these, like I was talking about earlier, or I want to say a video I recorded just yesterday or the day before, where I was having these flows where I'll be like doing really good and feeling so good and like dancing and singing and playing and being really creative and just having a lot of inspiration and just joy, just bliss, right? But then I'll experience a dip. And I'll dip down and I'm like, what's going on? Like, my life is good. Everything looks good. Everything feels good. Like I'm successful. I'm strong. I have plenty of abundance. I have people in my life who love me. I have strong, like tribesmen and karmic, or not karmic ties, but familial ties. Like, my needs are met. I'm well. Yeah. So that's true here in the now, right? But there are still, and I'm working on that, pieces of me that have to be integrated fully and accepted and loved. And all of those pieces that are in separation have to be brought into wholeness. And right now, with the energies of the universe and what is going on, today is January 14th, and it is 4:19 p.m. where I'm located. And right now with Mars and just all the energy, next month basically we're going to be going into the new Renaissance area. We will have 7 planets in alignment, and the last time that happened was when the Earth transitioned from the Dark Ages into the Renaissance. And so we'll be going through that as well. And I was just listening to a channel yesterday talk about like energetic updates and what we're doing here and what this looks like, and she was telling us all about how anything that's not in alignment with the highest self, anything that's not in alignment with the highest vibrations, with the path that we're embarking upon, like this new path that's beginning, is going to come up because it has to be loved and accepted and honored and integrated. And I was like, oh yeah, I've been doing really good. And then again, I caught another drift of that depression, and I was experiencing some dreams come true and some things that I had really been asking for. Some miracles happened yesterday for me, and I was just like, whoa, this is amazing, but why don't I all the way feel like this is amazing? Like, when I am in true alignment, I literally feel like a kid at Toys R Us with $100 in their hand. Like, I could go get anything I want. Everything is freaking amazing. And like, oh my God, anything I want, I could have. That feeling. And I was like, why don't I all the way feel that way? I just did all this and manifested and experienced this beautiful alignment, and yet I can still feel the sadness. Why? Where is that sadness coming from? And so I kind of journaled about it and looked around, and I was thinking, oh, okay, childhood, certain things, obviously because of what it was coming up around attached to, I was like, okay, this has to do with attachment. This also has to do with trust. Like many, I came here to do big things, and that means we're transmuting big karmic cycles. And one of my karmic cycles was feeling like I wasn't getting my needs met, and like the people that I love and care about, no, not the people, my caretakers, that my need, I wasn't heard. I didn't feel felt. I didn't feel understood. I didn't feel recognized. I didn't feel honored and celebrated or supported. And so whether that's what happened or not, that's how I perceived it happening. And so as an adult, I have done a lot of work around trust and bonding and connections and relationships. Like, I have not chosen to have very many serious relationships because it takes a lot for me to trust somebody. And I'm very contented with myself. I find a lot of joy in my independence and in my strength as a human being and in who I am and what I do in this world. And even in all of that loneliness and separation, I would still rather be with me than somebody who isn't good to me. And so it was easy for me to choose me over and over and over again. But it's been the last 10 years for me has been about choosing me in wholeness rather than choosing me because of separation. And so some lovely things came up in this conversation about how that original separation happened in this lifetime and what I experienced and how I experienced it and the way that I perceived it. And my inner child came in very strong and very forcefully. And she was like, I'm fucking pissed that this happened. This is some bullshit. And to see that karmic cycle play out again in the next generation, I was even more angry about it because I was like, I know what it is to be that child. I know what it is to feel that way. I know what it is to experience those things. And it broke my heart. And then also it brought up guilt. And the guilt was about having been that person before and knowing that experience, and then feeling like I haven't taken enough action to serve that being where I could. And what was really beautiful about it is that my higher self stepped in and she was like, you have a right to feel that way. I accept you. I love you. I acknowledge that pain. I acknowledge how difficult that was. I acknowledge that did not feel good and they don't want to do that again. And I definitely don't want to be putting those ripples back out into the universe by being that person or encouraging that behavior or any of that. And so it was this big, beautiful come-upance for myself. And as I'm like crying and upset and I say to my family member, I'm like, I don't know why I don't know why I'm crying like this. And then very firmly my inner child was just like, I'm pissed. I'm angry. How could this have happened to this person and the person wasn't aware, right? So a lot of judgment. Like, how dare you let this happen to me? I was a child. And then because that happened, I was then blamed for it as a child. Like it was somehow my fault when I had no control and no power over what decisions adults made and how that worked out. But the adults in my life, because of where they were at and their lack of consciousness at the time, they blamed me. And so I was getting screwed over like multiple times, multiple ways, and my inner child was not fucking happy about that. And while I've done all of this work, I do have this part of myself who runs from those big feelings and how she doesn't like the way that feels and the feelings of separation. And I don't like being mad at people. I don't like the way it feels to be angry or to be negative, like to have negative thoughts, to go into judgment. None of that feels good to me. And so I was just like, oh, I don't want to feel that. Well, by denying that part of myself and not going into love and acceptance, it trapped it in me. And so that separation was continuously playing out. And so when all of this just came up, I acknowledged how angry she was. I said what she wanted me to say. I felt those feelings, and then I loved her and I accepted her and I acknowledged her. It makes me emotional. Those are really big feelings, and those are really big energetic karmic cycles to heal and to experience. Now I know I came here to experience it from the whole fucking planet. I know I came here to do this work and that I'm strong and capable and powerful, and I know I can. But that hurt me. That was the original separation, and or the original separation. Those moments when those things were happening were places that I got stuck in time because I didn't feel heard, I didn't feel recognized, and I didn't know how to give that to myself. And so what a beautiful moment, what a beautiful come back around, because now I do know how to process it and deal with it. I cried, I honored myself, I celebrated myself, I looked around for signs, symbols, and synchronicities. And as I was having this conversation with my family member, I looked on my TV and I was literally playing a Abraham Hicks that says, Get to know what's pulling you down. And I was just like, boom, this is it. I've been asking Spirit to show me, what is it that needs to be purged? What lovely contrast needs to come up? What separations need to be integrated into wholeness? I'm ready for the new cycle. I'm excited. I am impassioned and invigorated by all of the newness coming and all the work I've done. Like, oh my God, I've never been this free as an adult, as a conscious being with full choice, knowing full well what I'm doing. Hadn't been this free like this before. And so, wow, when facing trauma, particularly for me, this was childhood trauma, when your inner child is crying, what I have learned and what really this experience brought back to me in wholeness and so much love and compassion and understanding for myself is that I am a master. I do have the tools. I've been working with this energy for 34 years. I'm a fucking master. I know what to do. I know how to do it. And so the steps: acceptance, acknowledge, listen first, listen, acknowledge yourself, accept yourself, love yourself, trust yourself, surrender, and go about giving back to yourself with love and compassion and understanding, and how it's so okay and it's so good enough that we're here and that we're going through this and that this is what's manifesting. And what a beautiful gift this contrast is, and all of the lessons of contrast. Oh my God, I'm so fucking powerful. And these experiences helped me get here. They allowed me to get here by showing me all the ways that I was giving my power away. And because I was giving it away, I felt powerless. And one day I woke up and I said, you know what? I'm not going to be powerless anymore. Fuck that. And I wondered to the universe, what does it look like to be powerful as me? And I stand here in that power today, so proud, and so much love and honoration and acceptance and celebration of myself. And you know what? I don't need one other person to live there with me. It's nice, it's fun, it's beautiful to have co-creators and tribesmen and soulmates and just wonderful partners to create and share with and to just experience with. So fun. But I finally come to the place now where I don't need anybody. I got me. I got this. And I got Spirit. And us together, fucking unstoppable, man. So, thanks for joining me, guys. Don't forget, I would love for you to please do share with any other like-minded beings that this could be their jam or who could use a helpful tool. Also, like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell so you don't ever miss an upload. And then also, I would like to invite you to share in this beautiful community that we're creating here, and then on my channel, how these things come up for you. How does the universe talk to you? How do the breadcrumbs come? How does your inner child communicate with you? And what steps do you take to love, honor, and accept yourself? What tools, what tips or tricks do you have that you've learned to really support yourself and they could be useful to others? I mean, really, guys, it could be the simplest of things. And then lastly, I want to thank each and every one of you so much for presence. If this world wasn't exactly how it is and I hadn't gone through what I've gone through and hadn't had all this beautiful contrast and all of you lovely beings to co-create with, I wouldn't be me as I am. And I love me and I'm so grateful. So thank you for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you on another one. Goodbye.